So it is Sunday, and it is our last ayahuasca ceremony tonight. Um, we did Cambo this morning. That's what these marks on my arm are. Frog poison I've done before. There are a lot of health benefits to doing the Cambo, which I don't really feel like talking about in this particular video, but it's very good for cleansing your organs. It's an antibiotic. For your there's just a lot of good just health benefits from it, and there's articles on it that you can read. So before I go into my last ayahuasca ceremony of this trip, I wanted to talk about my Friday night journey. So you'll hear people talk about ayahuasca, and you're gonna hear a lot of crazy things. Like, it's even hard for me to kind of explain because it sounds so crazy. So, you're going to see, everyone will see different things, different messages, right? And so for me, two things of significance that I wanted to share happened. And one of them I shared in my last video, talking about a very bright light, a white light that was surrounding me, right? And that same light came back again. And I thought someone had a flashlight on. It was so bright in my face. I thought someone had a flashlight, and I opened my eyes, and it was pitch black. Closed my eyes, and then there's this light. And I just heard the message, you're protected by the light. You're protected by the light. And I just kept saying, thank you so much. And, after, 5 minutes or so, the light kind of disappeared. And so that was the first half of my night. And the medicine that we drink, it doesn't taste good. It never tastes good. I wanted to go up for a second drink, and I think after I went up for my second drink, I know why I went up. So I got up, I asked the shaman for another drink, and he gave me about that much more, and I drank. And probably about 4 minutes after I sat down, I started to feel really nauseous, and I started to throw up. And then I laid down. And the second I lay down, the person to my left and the person to my right, it's like they shot up to these massive giants. And I was they were growing up, and I was shrinking down, like Alice in Wonderland when she eat me to get small or drink me to grow big or whatever it is. That's how I felt. And I was why am I shrinking? Why am I shrinking? And as I was laying there, I was I'm in a baby crib. All of a sudden I'm in a baby crib. I'm well, why am I in a baby crib? I don't understand why I'm in a baby crib. And all of a sudden it's I'm not in a baby crib. I'm in a hospital bed. And I was in this hospital bed, and I was getting pushed down a hallway, and I had my arms crossed like this as I was laying down. And this being came over my head and said, "Put your arms down." And I was oh shit. So I pulled my arms down, and my eyes are closed, right? I put my arms down, and these other beings surrounded me, and they were passing tools over me like this, right? And one above my head, these other ones around passing tools. I was just being pushed down this hallway, and all of a sudden I felt this in my heart, and I was oh my gosh. And I'm laying there. Went on for 5 minutes, and I immediately sat up, and I just started throwing up. And that was pretty much the end of my night. Everything kind of stopped, and I'm just sitting there what was that? I don't really understand. I still don't really understand that particular message. So as I was going on about yesterday and today, or later that night, I was laying down, kind of the back step, and I could feel my heartbeat in a way that I've never felt my heartbeat before. When I run sprints or I work out, I know what it feels like. My heart beats hard out of my chest. I could literally feel the chambers of my heart. And I was what the heck is that? And that went on for 5, maybe 10 minutes. And I was oh my gosh, that was crazy, right? Didn't scare me. It was just whoa, my heart is never, I could just feel if I were to close my eyes, I could vision my heart pumping and just feeling the chambers of my heart pumping. It was crazy. So then it took me back to a different ceremony that I had, and I asked uh, the spirit of ayahuasca to heal my heart chakra. And the message that I got that night was, it's not enough to follow your heart. It's not enough to listen to your heart, but you have to live in your heart. It's not enough to listen to your heart. It's not enough to follow your heart. You have to live in your heart. And it was such a powerful message that, because, you know, you're just so taught to, oh, listen to your heart, follow your passion. And it sounds so cliche, so trivial. You know, I passed that message on to people before, but no one's ever told me to live here. Like every action, every choice, every thought, every way of being, every choice I make, every decision I make, everything I need to do in my life, I have to live here. And that's hard for me. Like, I get wrapped up in my head, I get wrapped up in my thoughts, I get wrapped up in my judgments and my expectations and my anger and my stress and my anxiety, my irritations, all my addictions. So it's hard. All those things, all these distractions, all these external things take you out of living in your heart. And the only way you can do that is if you obviously listen to your heart, you obviously follow your heart, but it takes a certain amount of action, courageousness, a certain amount of bravery, vulnerability, transparency to live here. And that wasn't even this ceremony. That was like 3 or 4 ceremonies ago, and I didn't even think about it until I felt them working on my heart. Like, my heart still needs a lot of work. Like, you know, whatever these beings were, spirits, aliens, whatever, working on my heart. And it just reminded me of that. And I never shared it. I never shared that with anyone, of like, live in your heart. So tonight, as I go into my last ceremony, I'm going to just be thinking a lot about my heart, how I can live more in my heart, live there. So this trip has been amazing. I think it's taken me a while to really start to put it into perspective. But the closer I get it to ending, I don't want it to end. I love being out here. I love having these experiences with these people. I love learning from people. I love working with this medicine. I love learning about plants. I love learning about all the ways it heals us. I love hearing how it's helping all the people here. So, yeah, Sunday, ayahuasca ceremony number 4. I finished my tobacco diet. I did my Cambo. I'm ready for San Pedro. So yeah, Sunday, last ceremony. Thank you.